Okay, today we are going to go through how to construct a dual capability two-tensioned rescue system following the procedures developed by the Emergency Management Division of the Government of British Columbia. You will need 30 feet of 8mm cord for a load-releasing hitch. The terminal end will be tied off to the anchor, and you can finish the other end with a figure 8 on a bight. You'll also need 8 carabiners, 4 prusik minding pulleys, a 4-bar micro rack, a 4-hole rigging plate, 2 long prusiks, and 2 short prusiks. Charles will start by attaching his rigging plate to the anchor. Starting with the carabiner on the left, carabiner number 1, he'll attach his load-releasing hitch and set it off to the side. Using a long prusik, that will become an extension loop connected to carabiner number 2. He can attach a pulley to carabiner number 3. Just let it hang there. He'll take his micro rack, clip it onto the end of the extension loop. He's now ready to rig his rack. All 4 bars, plus 1 hyper bar, and then finished with a soft tie. Using a short prusik, he is going to create a self-braking prusik behind the rack. That will be clipped into carabiner number 2 along with the extension loop. He'll pass the rope through the tailing carabiner, carabiner number 4, and hand that rope off to his rope tailer. Now he's ready to operate his lowering station. Release the soft tie. If there's a large load on, all he'll have to do is tend his prusik with a couple fingers. If not, he may need to pull some through the prusik and let the rope pass through the rack. If he needs to do a changeover from lower to raise with weight on the system, he'll soft tie his rack, and then he's going to close the system by tying off with a clove hitch, leaving some slack in the rope. Now he'll take a long prusik, prusik that on to the rope in front of the rack, and that will become a tension transfer prusik. He will clip that to the extension loop and then set it, removing all slack. To transfer load, all he has to do is release his rack, create some slack, and remove it from the system. Once he pulls the slack out of the rope, he's ready to build his mechanical advantage system. He'll start by putting in the initial change of direction pulley that's already on the carabiner form. Then he'll add a pulley and carabiner for a 3-to-1. The tension transfer prusik becomes the initial haul prusik. He now has a 3-to-1 mechanical advantage. All he has to do now to transfer the load is to haul on the system. Once he has a set of fresh eyes, he knows it's rigged correctly, he can haul on the system, and that will slack the extension loop, which can now be removed from the system. He's now ready for haul. If he needs to add mechanical advantage, he can start by adding a change of direction pulley to the 4th carabiner. Now we can add a simple 5-to-1. If more mechanical advantage is needed, he can convert the 5-to-1 to a compound 9-to-1. If he needs to change back to lower with load on the system, he'll start by breaking down his mechanical advantage until he's back to his original 3-to-1. He'll close the system by tying off with a clove hitch, and he'll set his hull prusik about 3 feet from the progress capture prusik. Using his load-releasing hitch, he'll clip a carabiner to the hull prusik, go back to his original carabiner, tied off with a munter and 2 half hitches to create a releasable tension transfer system. He'll set the prusik to take the slack out of the system. And now, by hauling on the system, just enough to break the prusik, he can transfer the load onto the load-releasing hitch. He's now ready to remove the hull system from the system. Now he's ready to re-rig his rack. Pulling out a little slack. Four bars plus 1 hyper bar with a soft tie. To transfer tension, he'll release his LRH until load is back on the rack. Once the rack is loaded, he can remove the LRH . Fresh eyes, rigging is correct. Hand the rope back to the rope tailor, and he's ready to operate his lowering station. We have shown you one way to do the dual capability 2-tension rope system based on the procedures developed by the government of British Columbia. This is the standard we're going to be using in the rope rescue operator class. Be advised that all teams may do things slightly differently. Operators should consult with the technicians on their team for further guidance.